Hey guys, what's going on? So with Crystal becoming farmable in the arena store, that officially makes Ebony Maw a farmable legendary character. So we're going to go over the whole legendary character guide, how you farm them, what order to farm them, which is the best one, which is the least best one, all that good stuff, who to avoid, who to go for. So what we're going to do is, normally I typically do it in the order that they came out in. I'm actually going to go ahead and go reverse, so we're going to start with Ebony Maw. His event is going to be at the end of May. I'm thinking it's going to be May 22nd or May 29th. That's a Friday. I don't think it's going to be May 8th or May 15th, because May 15th Taskmaster's campaign event is coming out, and May 8th is tomorrow, and it'd be really surprising to drop it on us. So let's go over who you need to unlock Ebony Maw. To unlock Ebony Maw, it requires 4 Inhuman characters and Black Bolt. Black Bolt is required. This makes him the trickiest person to get for Ebony Maw because he is his own legendary event. So if you didn't get him this time around, you're not going to be able to get Ebony Maw the first time he comes out. But the other characters are pretty easy to get. Quake and Crystal are in the arena store, and Karnak and Miss Marvel are in node farms. Yo-Yo is in premium orbs, which is not free-to-play friendly, but is technically farmable if you want to spend that much money to unlock her through premium orbs and stuff. It sucks for Yo-Yo, being that she's probably the second best Inhuman on this team, but it is what it is. So if you were to take a character from 0 stars to 7 stars, that's 810 shards. It's going to take you about 270 days. That's not counting blitzes. That's not counting orb openings and all that stuff. And, you know, when Ebony Maw comes around, there's a calendar and stuff. So 270 days at the most for them. Arena store is a lot less. Depends on where you're placing. It could take you, you know, if you're only getting 500 credits a day versus if you're getting 750 credits a day, that can be a big difference. So yeah, there's really only 5 characters I would go for or recommend, and that's Black Bolt, Quake, Crystal, Karnak, and Miss Marvel, just because Yo-Yo is not feasible. So that does it for Ebony Maw. Let's go over Black Bolt himself and what characters you need to unlock him. To unlock Black Bolt, you need 5 Asgardians. There are only currently 5 available. That is Hela, Sif, Loki, Heimdall, and Thor. Hela and Loki are in node farms. Sif is in the War Store, which was very controversial. The War Store also has superior mini uniques, which are needed for Dark Dimensions 3, so you're taking away credits for basically getting into Dark Dimensions 3 to unlock Black Bolt and to get Sif shards. Heimdall is in the Arena Store, and Thor is in the Raid Store. When it comes to Raid Store characters, I would recommend just going for orbs, just because you get plenty. There's plenty of characters that are needed for legendary events that are in those Raid orbs, so that's what I would go for. Probably Loki and Hela are your longest farms. It's probably going to be it for all of the characters, typically with node farms. Next, then I would say is Raid's probably the easiest, and then Arena is probably the second easiest when it comes to this, and then Sif is going to be right there in the middle, just because it depends on how much war currency you're getting and if she's even popping up in the store for you. Again, Thor, go for Raid Orbs. Heimdall, it's just going to depend on where you're ranking in Arena, you know, 500 credits versus 750 credits a day. So that's it for Black Bolt. Next up, we're going to go over Invisible Woman. To unlock Invisible Woman, you need 5 Sinister 6 characters. There are only currently 5 Sinister 6 characters out. People are theorizing that maybe Doc Ock will come soon as a legendary character or whatnot, but that doesn't matter to you right now. Right now, we have our 5 Sinister 6 characters. This is where I had them at when I unlocked them. So let's go over them. Green Goblin is in a node. Vulture is in the Arena Store. Shocker is in a node. Mysterio is in the Raid Store, and Rhino is in Blitz Store. Again, Shocker and Green Goblin are probably your longest farms. Mysterio, you want to go for Raid Orbs. Rhino, when it comes to Blitz Store, I would say you can go for the character you want or just do Blitz Orbs. It depends on where you're at in this game. If you are just starting out, Blitz Orbs is probably the way to go, but if you only have 3 or 4 characters that you need to get, I would say probably just go for the character that you need. There's tons of Blitz characters that are needed for legendary characters, same with Raid Store characters. So it really doesn't matter when it comes to Blitz Store. I would definitely still recommend Raid Orbs for the Raid Store though. And then Vulture is an Arena as well. Again, depends on where you're ranking. Probably, maybe I would say Invisible Woman is probably the 3rd easiest character to get out of everyone, just because I know Green Goblin is in Villains, and I believe Shocker's in Nexus. It's not too hard to get them. And Invisible Woman's a pretty good legendary character. But that's going to do it for her. Let's move on to Phoenix. To unlock Phoenix, you need to have 5 Mystic Villain controllers at 6 stars. Phoenix is the only character that requires your characters be at 6 stars because she's a 6-star unlocked. The reason why they did this was too many people had Mystic Villain controllers the first time she came around. But that doesn't matter much now. So the characters that you can use are Hela, Loki, Nobu, Mordo, Ronan the Accuser, and Hand Assassin. Hela, Loki, Nobu, and Hand Assassin are node farms. Nobu is also in the War Store. Do not go for him. The only character that you should go for in the War Store is Sif. Mordo is an arena, and Ronan is in the Raid Store. So again, Raid Orbs. I can't stress that enough. It depends on where you're at when it comes to beating the campaigns and stuff. I would definitely recommend you want to use Hela, Loki, Nobu, Mordo, and Ronan the Accuser and leave Hand Assassin behind. But if you cannot beat the villains, the newest villain campaigns with Hela and stuff, then you probably want to go with Hand Assassin, because you do want to be unlocking Phoenix as soon as possible. With Ebony Maw coming out, she probably is now the 3rd best legendary character. Tied for 2nd and 1st would probably be Ebony Maw and Black Bolt. It depends. If Ebony Maw comes out and lays an egg, then she's probably still number 1, but I doubt he will. Again, go. What I would recommend is Hela, Loki, Nobu, Mordu, and Ronan. What might be easiest to farm is probably Hand Assassin, Loki, Nobu, Mordo, and Ronan. Again, Ronan's in the Raid Store. Go for Orbs. Mordo's in Arena. And don't farm Nobu out of the War Store. Just farm him through the nodes. So with Phoenix taken care of, we're going to go over the next legendary character, probably the 2nd easiest one to get, and that is Shuri. So to unlock Shuri, you need Spider-Verse characters. The reason why I think she is the 2nd easiest to get is because Miles, Spider-Man, and Rhino are all in the Blitz Store. The Blitz Store is the easiest store to farm characters out of. You get through it really quickly, especially if you blitz a lot, and I can't recommend them enough. So definitely you want to start out with your 3: Spider-Man, Miles, and Rhino. That's going to be your 3 base to get it, and then the other 2 depend on what are you feeling. So Carnage is in the War Store. Again, only character you should farm out of the War Store is Sif, and then you should go for superior mini uniques and maybe mini uniques. Green Goblin is in a node, Venom is in a node, Vulture's in the Arena Store, Shocker's in a node, Mysterio's in the Raid Store, meaning Raid Orbs, and Spider-Man Symbiote isn't really that farmable. He has a milestone event going on right now. Who I would recommend is probably Vulture and Mysterio, along with Spider-Man and Spider-Man Miles and Rhino, just because I feel like those are the easiest to get. Node farms, again, are your longest farms to go through. So yeah, that's who I would go for. Granted, if you just go for Sinister Six, you can get 2 legendary characters with them. But if you're going for what's the quickest, then you want Spider-Man and Spider-Man Miles, Rhino, Mysterio, and Vulture. That should hopefully set you up. Venom is also very good. He's going to be very good in DD3, Dark Dimensions 3, along with Carnage. But again, I would probably save Carnage, wait. I would probably hope that you can get him through the orbs. Maybe if you're 5 away, then get him from the War Store, but again, save your war credits. Since we've already gone over Sinister Six and where they're farming and basically who to go for in Spider-Verse, it's time to move on to the next character, and that character is Magneto. Alright, to unlock Magneto, you either need X-Men or Brotherhood characters. As you can see, there's plenty of characters to go through. I'm going to run through quickly these 3 at the bottom. Blob, Toad, and Cyclops are really not that farmable. They aren't farmable yet. I think Cyclops might be in a few orbs, but I don't think Toad or Blob are in any yet. So let's move on to this top 9 and just go over who's the easiest to farm. So Phoenix has her own event. If you're going for Phoenix first, then why not use her in the Magneto event if you have her? But if not, then you can possibly use Juggernaut, Colossus, Storm, Psylocke, Sabretooth, Wolverine, Pyro, and Mystique. Juggernaut is in the Arena Store. Colossus, Storm, Psylocke, and Mystique are all node farms. Wolverine is a daily reward. You get 5 shards per day. I believe the math on that is it's whatever 810 divided by 5 is, so 100 something days. Pyro's in the War Store. Sabretooth is in the Raid Store, so Raid Orbs. And again, Juggernaut's in the Arena Store. So who I would recommend is Sabretooth, Wolverine, Juggernaut, Mystique, and Psylocke. Mystique's in the villain nodes. Psylocke is in Cosmic nodes, and then Storm and Colossus. Colossus is in Hero 7, which kind of takes some work to get through, and Storm is in Mystic 3, Mystic 2, whatever. So Psylocke's probably going to be your best bet when it comes to the node farms out of the top 3 up there. And that should hopefully get you them. Again, your node farms are going to be the longest. Sabretooth you should purely get from Raid Orbs. I wish there was an X-Men or Brotherhood character in the Blitz Store, because then I would recommend them. But they're not. I would say don't farm Pyro. Save your war credits. I keep stressing that enough. And then if you can, go for Storm and Colossus. Colossus is probably after Phoenix, and maybe tied with Magneto, probably the best best mutant out right now. Besides Phoenix, maybe Cyclops is good. So if you can go for Colossus, go for Colossus. He pairs really well with Phoenix and the other X-Men characters. But again, I think your easiest time is going to be Psylocke, Mystique, Wolverine, Sabretooth, and Juggernaut. A Juggernaut's in the arena, so again, depends on where you're at with the arena credits. I wish there was an arena orb that gave out a good amount of character shards, but there's not. There's the Kingpin orb, but I wouldn't go for that if you have any characters left to get in that. So with that said and done, we're going to move on to Nick Fury. Alright, to unlock Nick Fury, you need Kree minions. The hardest character to get through this is Kree Noble, because she only has 1 node, while Kree Reaper and Kree Cyborg have 2 nodes that you can farm her from. Kree Royal Guard is in the Blitz store, so that's your easiest farm, and Kree Oracle is in the Raid store, so Raid Orbs. They used to have Kree Noble at 2 nodes, now she's not. I think someone came in her place to take her spot. So she'll be your longest farm. Again, it probably shouldn't take more than 270 days at the most. It'll probably end up taking you about 150 just to get her through. And then Kree Reaper and Cyborg should be a little bit quicker just because of the 2 node farm. Since there's not really anyone that you can recommend for this and you have to use these characters, I think it's time to move on to Starlord, our second ever legendary character. We're not going to go over Iron Man today just because he's so readily available for everyone. But let's go over Starlord and who you need. Alright, the second legendary character ever released is Starlord, and he is probably the easiest farm to get. I know a lot of people recommend a certain team to get him, but I'm going to give you what I would recommend is what's going to get you him quickest. And that's going to be Mantis, Ravager, Boomer, because they both are in the Blitz store, along with Gamora. She's in the Blitz store as well. So that's 3 characters in the Blitz store. Then you have Ravager, Stitcher, and Rocket Raccoon, who are in the Raid store, so you want to use Raid Orbs. So I would recommend those 5 just because it's going to be your quickest. But if you want to go for like solid characters, Groot and Drax are really good as well. Groot is a node farm and Drax is in the arena store. So if you want to sub out Ravager Stitcher for Drax, that'd probably be fine as well. I would still stick with Ravager Boomer just because he's such an easy farm. Blitz characters are obviously such an easy farm, and you can spend more time focusing on, you know, other characters that are node farms or other arena characters first. So again, Groot's a node farm, Yondu is a node farm, and Ravager Bruiser is a node farm, and he's also in the War store. When I first did this, I used Yondu, Ravager Stitcher, Ravager Boomer, Drax, and Gamora. Obviously, the game has changed since then. I know a lot of people recommend to just do Groot, Yondu, Drax, Rocket Raccoon, Mantis, or Gamora, and skip the Ravager minions because they are terrible. And I will admit they are terrible, but if you bring them up to level 45, gear tier 8, which only requires purple gear, getting to level 45 isn't too much gold, then I think you'll be set and getting it done, especially if you have a higher level Rocket or a higher level Drax or a higher level Mantis or anything like that. So yeah, the quickest way obviously is going to be Ravager Boomer, Mantis, Gamora, Rocket Raccoon, and Stitcher. But if you want to go for more long-term characters, then Rocket Raccoon, Drax, Groot, Mantis, Yondu, or Gamora. So that's going to do it for Starlord. I do want to talk about Ultron real quick. Not that he's necessarily a legendary character, but I did figure out how to beat Dark Dimensions 3 in 1 day. I will link that video to the end. Basically, it required 6 characters, but I was able to beat it in 1 day without Ultron. So if you are new to the game and want to know how to do that, click on the video at the end of this video. And be on the lookout for other videos. Make sure you're subscribed. I do news updates, I do giveaways, I do fun videos with my girlfriend where we do orb openings. We just did a Taskmaster orb opening, so check that out. Be sure to check out the Ultron Unlocked in 1 day guide. And other than that, thanks for watching. I hope you have a great day. Bye.